God, you guys probably could hear me during the intro because I started talking and then I remembered to mute it. Anyway, welcome. Sundays with Max. You know, like normal when I'm usually muted when I start. Well, quite the day for the markets. Typical Sunday for the markets. But we'll get into that in a little bit. Let's see who is here. Let me scroll up to the top. Let me take a look. We got Son of a Rabbit was first, Pearl Rival, Traveler's Travels, Dan Bulmer, Strange Tamer, Shides, Vinny Del Greco. I think, yeah, I said Dan already. Joker Miner. You know, it's funny. You said 25th on the giveaway. You're actually the last person. You're the 25th member on the list. I think. But no, I'm sorry. It was Steven Cicero. That's 25th. Sorry, not you. Anyway, let's see. All set. I evidently accidentally blocked by somebody, one of my mods. Who do I need to take away the mod from? All set, by the way, said, hey, Max. And driving and lurking. Lester Dog C57. Red Fox Crypto is here. Good to see you, sir. Still got to get out my counterpoint video to your salad video. Anyway, I just thought it was interesting. A little bit of point counterpoint is good. Steven Cicero has been a member for 26 months. Yes, a little over 2 years. No, because it's not done by... It's relatively random. I'm not sure how they downloaded that list and what the priority was, so has nothing to do with how long. Like I know like Geek and Integra Guy are my two longest members. I think I know one of them is over 3 years and one of them I think is just about at 3 years. But they were further down on the list too, so don't think anything of that. Let's see who else there. Ka Valley Crypto is here. Cook 4015, Jacob A, Automatic Beats, Triple Nickel Technologies, Goat is here. By the way, just got done watching your video on the lottery versus the lottery miner. Love that video. As always, good humor in it. Always enjoyable. Chump Change is here. Oh, so much better because you could actually hear me. Mad Investor. Already said Steven Cicero. Gaming with Smokey Dan. So yes, Gaming with Smokey Dan created that song. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. He sent me a 5-minute version, which I tried to get over, but you put it in M4A format, which OBS doesn't take. So I have to convert it, which isn't a big deal, but I was under the gun. So that was still the old version on the under 5-minute version. So we will get that for next week. I'd totally forgotten to do that. Let's see. Burn, the Toxic Miner. Let's see what. Retro Mike. Yeah, I know I was muted. Haven't watched your video yet today, but I was very interested because on this machine behind me, I have a Windows VM on that, but it's a VM. It's not Docker. So I'm definitely interested to watch that video. Just haven't had a chance yet. So yeah, if anybody does run, you know, containerized loads or, I'm trying to think of the word for it, but anyway, run Proxmox or anything like that, check out his video. Crypto Crag, good to see you, sir. Sox Fan 96. Too loud. Which is too loud, my voice or the music? I'm probably on top of the mic, so it's probably too loud. Oh, okay. Let's see. And of course, Sunflower Mama is here. Shides, I don't think I said him yet. Yeah, Vinny Del Greco on a power trip. Okay, I had to jump back up. Let's see. Crypto MB, Red Panda Mining. Yes, classic. Hey, it never gets old, right? At least that's what I tell myself. Yusuf Puts is here. It's a party. Let's see. Who else? I'm scanning. Black Hat Team I just saw. And if I missed anybody, I apologize. Hash Rico. And I think that's everybody. So appreciate you guys all for being here. So let's look at the market. Let's see. Coin market cap. Scroll up on that and then slide it over. Actually, am I logged in? I am. Move it to the watch list. Yeah, I wanted to move it to the watch list. And that is the right thing. Crypto Crag, thank you for the super chat. Very much appreciated. 1, 2, 3, 4, as always. Very much appreciated. And good to see you. It's been a while. So we are at 81,648. In fact, as I'm doing this, I'm going to bring up, because I did make a bunch of purchases. I'm not going to share how much I purchased, but I do want to show what I purchased today and at what value. So Bitcoin bought at 82,750. So obviously I'm down a little bit on that. I do have another buy in at under 80. So I don't know if we'll hit that. And I also have another standing buy at like 73.5 because I think we'll eventually get down there. I just don't know when. And Ethereum, I bought in at 2025. So I'm barely up on that. But again, I didn't expect to make money today. I expect hopefully as we go into the week that things will perk back up. Will BTC hit 70K or 90K first? It'll hit 90K first.
It'll hit 70K first, or is it going down? Is it going down?
No. Right now it's stabilized.
At what?
At around 80, 81. Oh. So it's going to go to 90K first and then it'll go back down. That's what I think. Or maybe it will never get down to the 73.5. But right now it's hanging out at that 200-day moving average. And so it's a real question of will it... Right now it's just kind of gone a little bit below it. It's not really a break. So the question is, will it break below the 200-day moving average like consistently? If it does, then yeah, I think we'll go to 73. But I think it's going to jump tomorrow. I think it'll jump back above it. I wish Fully Electric was here because he covers, there's something with commodities and options and things like that that don't trade over the weekend that it will always close that gap. And I think the gap is higher right now, but I'm not sure. The CME gap, that's what it is. Because it always, well, I shouldn't say always. It very commonly does that. Last Sunday, when it broke higher, he predicted that we'd be right back down to the 84 range within a day or two. And it didn't take more than a day, and we were right back down to that range. So he predicted it really well, and with reasons for it. And so I'm kind of curious where the CME gap is. Maybe we'll look that up towards the end of the stream. So anyway, I think it's going to go to 90K before it goes to 70K. That's my prediction, but don't know for sure. Let's see. Yeah, if you guys want to ask me a question, please tag me just like Goat did. I appreciate that. Okay, then we go to Ethereum. I bought Ethereum at 2025. It's up a little bit, 2042. I still think that Ethereum's going to do well. It's kind of hit a little bit right now because of the delay in its next hard fork. So, yeah, it's I think it's going to get there. I think actually the delay is in a way a good thing for people that want to get into Ethereum or just finding out about that hard fork. I think it will break 3,500 to 4,000 by mid-year. That's what I'm predicting. Am I waiting that long to get out? No, I'm gonna get out like around 3,000. Right now with this, not with everything, but with this, my little play money as far as trading goes, or I'm trading in and out, I'm taking my gains. I'm looking for a 10 to 15% gain, and then I'm getting out. It's been working for a little bit, so we'll see how it goes. But that's why trading a market that's going in a range is a good thing for this type of strategy. So as long as the market is staying within this range, I'll do well with this little bag of money that I'm working with. All right, so then Solana is at 127.55, and I bought that at 127.4, so right around the same range. It actually dipped below after I bought it. Now it's gotten back up higher than that. I have a good bag of Cardano, and that one hasn't hit like its yearly low, like not even close. So this one I am staying away from because I don't know where that one's going. A lot of these other ones have hit their yearly lows, and that's why I think they're going to bounce off of them. Chainlink's at 14. I bought that one at 13.75, so I'm already up a little bit on that one. Litecoin I bought at 95.5. It's at 95.76, so up slightly on that. Polkadot is the only one I didn't, of my buys that I put in, it didn't get down to that. I put in 3.98 and it never hit that. I think the lowest it got after I put in the order was 4.01. And I think, and then there's Filecoin. Yeah, Filecoin 2.84, and I put it in at 2.77. So, not doing too bad. I'm up barely, but I'm looking at tomorrow and the first couple of days of next week, because we did have some not great news on Friday with the jobs report. It was 151,000 jobs created. So that was supposed to be 160,000. But if you look in the report, there are some key things in there that learned through some other digging that it looks like the jobs report only included government jobs lost through February 15th, which, if you recall, most of the job layoffs in the government seem to happen from February 15th through February 28th. So I don't know. We'll kind of have to wait and see on that. But jobs report could be a good thing if it gets bad, because that would have a tendency to want the Fed to lower interest rates. So that's a good thing for crypto. When interest rates go down, the value of the dollar also goes down. So basically, people are going to trade into the dollar if interest rates are higher, because they can make more money on the money they have in the dollar because they have a higher interest rate. If the Fed lowers interest rates relative to everybody else, that will lower the value of the dollar, which will raise the value of Bitcoin and everything else for that matter against the dollar. So that could be a good thing for us. But obviously the bad thing is what's causing all this is the tariffs, and that could lead to inflation. So then the Fed has a difficult decision as to whether or not to try to control inflation because of the tariffs, or try to spur on the economy because jobs are, the unemployment rate is going up and the economy is slowing down. So I don't know. That's why the Fed in his last talk, Jerome Powell talked about stagflation, and that's like the worst of all worlds. That's what happened in the 70s. And that's why the economy got so bad, was because of stagflation, where you have inflation, but the economy is slowing. It's a really bad thing. So hopefully we don't get into that. But I don't know. This week, I just have a feeling that things will pop on Monday and Tuesday a little bit. And if I have opportunity, I'll take my profits. But we'll see. We shall see. So how did everybody else do this weekend? Anybody else buy anything on the dip? Gave me a Smoky Dan. Thank you. I appreciate that. I could have done that. No. I do not give financial advice. I'm only sharing my journey and what I am doing. I'm not advocating anybody else to do it. Now, you want to do it with play money to see how you might do? That's not a bad idea. I am not playing with a large amount of money. I am not playing with a lot. So these are small amounts, and I consider this, if I lose, it's fine. It's fun money. Okay. So if I lose it all, I'm okay with that. So, It's just showing examples of how I can show through my buys and my sales how this strategy works. And I'm not the only one that does this strategy. It's momentum training basically. So Red Panda, bite your tongue. No financial advice. Hang on one second. Gaming with Smoky Dan said song convert. Oh yeah, thank you, appreciate that. Crypto Craig, how's the Octo server still performing well? I do have that on my list of content that I want to do. It's doing great. It's absolutely doing great. I am still waiting on Octo server to get back to. Well, they got back to me saying that they would send me a few extra like risers. I mean, we all know any type of riser it's going to be your most common failure point. So I can actually, if one of my risers fails, I have a way where I can kind of switch things around and still probably work with it. But I want to have one or two spares. As you know, anytime you're doing stuff like this, you want to have spares. So that's the one thing I'm waiting for. But right now, knock on wood, or whatever IKEA makes their stuff out of, particle board, it's doing great. It's doing great. The only odd thing about it, and this has nothing to do with Octo server, it's per se, but since I'm running it full and I have 6 4090s in it, I either have to say all 6, but in the GUI, when you go onto their website and you do a search, they only will search 4, 8, or 8 plus. So if you have 6, there's no place for that unless people are looking for it within the CLI. And what I've been told is that most people are looking there. I suppose that might be true. But I have it 2, 2, and 2. So they can be rented in 2. So what generally happens is I got 4 rented to 1 and the other one's rented to 2. So the 4 always will make more money at a higher value, but then I always have to reset the price to a lower value to get somebody to get onto the 2. So, but right now, VAST is doing great. I had my best week ever. Made over $600 this week. I have 15 4090s, 7 3060s, and 3 3090s. The 3090s haven't been doing that much. There was something going on with them. So 2 of them, sorry, transitioning. Did I answer your question, Crypto Crag? Sorry. Yeah, if you have any other questions about it, let me know. Don't be afraid to hit me up on Discord. But the 2 of the 3090s, the 2 newest ones, was having some problems with those. I got in contact with customer support with VAST. By the way, their customer support is much better than it was. I'm not saying it's perfect or anything, but you go into chat and somebody responds. A lot of times you have to follow up with them, but not always. A lot of times you just find it's just fixed. So that's what happened with the 2, is that I had 2 rigs that were not changing their reliability at all, and they weren't getting rented. So now one of them is rented, the one with a higher reliability, and the reliability score is now moving. The other one is moving, but it's moving slower, and it's the newer one that has a lower reliability. You'd think that one would be moving faster, but it's not. So I don't know. Well, I'm just going to make sure it keeps moving in the right direction. And then my VM, my 3090 on Proxmox got verified. So everybody had talked about VAST. You couldn't get verified if it was a virtual machine. Not true. Now I do have it verified. So yeah, and that one's making some more money. It was interesting because when I got verified, I was like, damn, I had a job running at like 8 or 9 cents. And that's not what you want. I mean, it was supposed to be out there for another month. Thankfully, for whatever reason, his job just got done, and I had already changed the price. And so yeah, now I have somebody at a higher amount, much higher amount on that, making like over 12 cents. So, and going back, talking about VAST versus Salad, if you have something verified, it will always make more money. Or in my experience, it will always make more money on VAST than it will on Salad. The key is getting to that point where it gets verified. That's the key. Until it's verified, you will make comparable money, is what I have found. All right, let me get back to the chat. Crypto Craig. Oh, you asked that. Red Panda. We follow Dad. Let's see. Okay, I'm following Max Voltage. Did a 10,000 cast buy at 0.062. That's a lot more than I bought. But I think you'll be fine with that, in my opinion. Not financial advice. Son of Ravage says, bought chicken nuggets yesterday. Nice. Yeah, see, I've been having burgers without buns. That's like my kind of go-to thing for lunch and dinner at work. I did. All right. Thanks, Crypto Craig. Yeah, like I said, if you want to reach out, if you have any other questions, specific questions, let me know. I am late. How is the Timpi node going? Great question, Frogman. So I did get my second payout. It's been making somewhere, depends on what the price of it is, but I've been making about $50 a month. Now, the first payment was a partial for December and January, and now I just got February. So January was like $60 worth, and now this one was like $50 worth. But again, and it is using like no power, using way less than 100 watts. Well, it's using probably about 80 to 90 watts. I don't have it measured specifically, but I know that the GPU is saying it's only using 40 watts. Now I am only using a 3060 Ti in there, but yeah, it's been doing well. Again, if you look at it, if I remember correctly, that was just over $1,000 for the Snaptron node. So at $50, it's going to be about 20 months payback. Again, depending on where the price of Timpi goes, because as with everything, the price of Timpi has come down. So before, in like November when you bought it, it would have been about a 12-month, if I recall. Would have been about a 12-month break even. Let's see. Yusuf puts, how many Octo servers you got? I have one Octo server. I do have two Octo miners sitting right behind me that are for sale. If anybody wants them, hit me up. Let me know. But no, I only have one Octo server. They are not cheap. They are not cheap. And I don't have enough of anything. Because here's the thing. You could put, sure, you could put probably like 12 3060s in there. But the problem is you're not going to make that much doing that. You really need to put 4090s in there to make it make sense. I mean, the one that I won, thankfully, would have been, like $4,000, something like that, $4,000 to $5,000 as it was equipped. So yeah, they are not cheap. They're not cheap. But like I said, it is nice because it's kind of a set it and forget it. I've had one issue that I can recall with it where I'm trying to remember if I think I just ended up reseating the SlimSAS cables is what I think, and I reseated the GPU itself, if I recall. Now, what's interesting is right now I do have a Gigabyte 4090. I have the fans for it. But one of the fans on one of the Gigabyte cards is dead. So it's only going on 2 fans right now. Because of the temps right now, it's fine. But come April, I'm going to let it expire. Let everybody come off of it. And then I will shut it down so I can grab that GPU out of there and get it changed. But yeah, it is nice this time of year. Well, not even this time of year and before, because it's been nice and cool in the basement. That's for sure. Let's see. Next question. Crypto Craig, you're doing keto as well. Nice. Son of a Baconator. Yes. I usually just order double bacon double cheeseburger. I think I don't do the $3 double bacon. I do the full sandwich. There's like 3 different bacon cheeseburgers that they have there at Wendy's. But here's the thing. When I either go to Culver's, I mean, I'm talking about if I have it delivered, Culver's or Wendy's, it costs the same amount or more to get a bacon double cheeseburger from them than it does from Portillo's, because they raise their prices so much on the takeout menu, but Portillo's doesn't. So I generally get the Portillo's one. It's more meat. It's each of them is a 3rd pound patty. So I've been doing that more.
They didn't turn in for gluten. They didn't turn in for content.
I'm just answering questions, man. They're asking me the questions. Little Max. Thanks. How can you put 154090s in? I don't have 154090s in one server. I have one Octo server that has 6. Then I have another one that has 8, but that's not in a server case. That's in an open air. It's actually on a GPU Riser's open air frame. And then I have it run off of a Supermicro H12 board. And all those are running on 8 lanes. So basically I had to buy from cpain.com. I had to order 8 risers and 4 like PCIe connectors, and then 8 Slim SAS cables. So for PCIe 4, you got to run, generally have to run Slim SAS to make it work. Other people have had some luck with some of the riser cables, but it's not usually as, it's not as reliable. It just runs for me. I have thought about I really should get a couple of spares of those as well, just to make sure, but I haven't done that yet. I really should do that because they fail too. All right. I've answered all the questions. Nice. Appreciate you guys asking me. Okay. Let me pull up what I planned on talking about tonight. So we went over the markets already. Actually, I can embiggen myself. Oh, that's interesting. My face was in front of all the purchase prices. So you guys were just taking my word for it. But yeah. So, all right. Enough about the markets. Actually, it's interesting because somebody already asked me about the Timpi Node. I was planning on going over that tonight. I talked about the record week on VAST.ai. So far, so good. Looking forward into next week. I might, if I keep going the way I'm going, knock on particle board, I could have even a little bit better week next week. But we'll see. It's up and down. It's up and down. You never know how much you're going to stay rented. But right now it looks pretty good. Right now I think I don't have it up right now. Here, let me actually go over here. Let's see. Right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 3060s and 2 3090s that aren't rented. Which is about what I was at last week. So that actually, again, it's the key is staying rented on the 4090s. That's the key. Especially the 8 GPU rig. That is absolutely key. Yeah, one thing I wanted to show you guys tonight, and then we'll get to the giveaway. This was one. Awaken.tax. So you guys heard me talking about Coinledger. I was going to give it a try and really wasn't pleased with the answers I was getting. So what I was trying to figure out was, how do you transition from one service to another? You, as miners, we have put so much effort into stating like this is a mining transaction, because none of them will know if it's a mining transaction or not. They just know it's a deposit. They don't know what kind of deposit it is. So the key was, okay, how do I transition from Koinly that I've been at for years and transition into a different tax program? So again, I looked at CoinLedger. I went back and forth. They're like, oh yeah, it's just easy. Just, put in all your information and just let the blockchain bring it up. And I'm like, yeah, but then I got to recategorize thousands of transactions. It's not hard. You'll be done with it in 10 minutes. Like, it didn't sound logical to me. How do you recategorize thousands of transactions in 10 minutes? Doesn't make sense. So what I did do, and I'm going to show you this guys live because they have a really good AI. Like, you go here and you're like, oh crap, I'm not getting real help, let me see if it actually, no, it didn't. All right, so I'm going to ask a question. Be like, I am transitioning from Koinly and have a lot of mining transactions. What is the best way to transfer my transactions to keep the categorization? Let's see if it understood that. I didn't write that very well, but let's see. It's thinking. There we go. Yeah, so it tells you to export your mining transactions, which is what I thought with CoinLedger. And CoinLedger's like, no, because the thing with CoinLedger was if you transferred, like you basically did an export and then brought it in via CSV file, then you synced up with the blockchain. CoinLedger said, yeah, you're probably going to end up with some duplicates. So it wasn't smart enough to understand what was duplicates or not. At least that was the information I was getting. And I was like, this really isn't worth my time. No thanks. But this one tells me exactly how to do it by doing the transfer. Then in the next question that I asked was, yes, but can I then sync my wallets and exchanges can I sync my wallets and exchanges and not get duplicate transactions? And what it told me the last time was, no, we're smart enough. We have an AI. We understand if it's a duplicate transaction. Exactly what they just said. So to ensure a smooth process, first import your mining transactions using the CSV format we provided earlier. Then you can add your wallets and exchanges in the accounts tab. That makes sense to me. That process makes a lot of sense. I don't think anyone has really tackled this except for these guys. Now, the one, again, I'm not sponsored. I do have an affiliate link. I'll probably get to that eventually. But if you look at the pricing, it's a bit more expensive. So if you look at like 3,000 transactions, I believe Koinly is $199 and this one's $299. I'm going to see if I'm going to tell them, hey, I'm going to do this content. I've already paid for Koinly this year. I don't really want to pay for this too. Can you give me a free ride for 1 year and go from there and see what they say? I haven't gotten that far with them, but I definitely want to get to this. I did just finish my dad's taxes. I got to do my father-in-law's taxes, and then I got to get to this. Little late in the cycle because a lot of people are already done with their taxes, but so sue me. But anyway, I did want to let you guys know about this. It is pretty interesting. I definitely don't like this. CoinLedger basically gives you a free ride the first year if you can prove that you've already paid for Koinly in any of the previous years. Now, I would think if you paid for it in the current year, it would be really good of them to allow you to say, okay, we want to attract you over to this platform. So let me give you a better than $50 discount because it's still more expensive. Oh, just filed an extension, huh? Good. Well, now I guess you got more time. All right, let me back up to some of the other questions. Hold on. Okay. Yusuf Post asked, the cheapest Octo server I can find is 5,900 shipped. Are you looking on the Octo server site? Or are you looking like used? It all depends on how you... Maybe I'm recalling, or maybe their pricing has changed. Yeah, my recollection was it was closer to 4, but I could be wrong. And again, I'm not putting GPUs in it when they ship it either. So, can you send me the link where you got that Super Micro MB from? Yeah, funny you mentioned that. I actually was just looking. It's on eBay. I'll shoot it to you. Yeah, I'll shoot it to you. I was just trying to remember, do I have you on Discord? And I do. So let me do that. I hear you knocking, but you can't come in. Obviously, that's a song, but I'm not sure what that was in reference to. Gaming to Smokey Dan. All right. Next try asking if you transition from... Oh, God, no. Yeah, we'll go right by that one. Gave you a Smokey Dan. Can I claim the voices in my head as dependents? I mean, you can claim anything you want. It's whether or not the IRS will allow that. I don't think they will, but I don't know. I heard my Uncle Ron, who is now passed away, used to claim his dogs as dependent on his taxes. So, and he never got caught. At least that's the stories. Super micro board I'm using is H12SSL-I, I believe. I don't remember I'm pretty sure it's -I. But it's got 5 16 lane slots, but they're all like super right next to each other. So you have to spread them out and do it with cables and risers and slim SAS. That was the word I was looking for. Unless you water block your 4090s. If you water block your 4090s, then you don't have that problem. Somebody in the community did that. Let's see. Is it cheaper to build my own VAST.ai rig or buy Octo server? It is definitely cheaper to build. Well, you know, I haven't ever actually worked it all out. So you need really good power supplies. So power supplies, I got some great deal on some Seasonic Prime power supplies at the time. Micro Center, when I went to go buy the last couple, they were on sale. And I bought the other ones within 30 days prior. So I got like a huge rebate when I bought my last power supply. So, oh yeah, I get it in big in my face. Since we're done talking about that. So, I'm trying to remember, how much did I end up paying? Probably about $1,500 just in power supplies. Somewhere around that, $1,300 to $1,500. Motherboard combo is probably another $1,500, $1,700. You also need a cooler for it. That's going to be another $100. What did Mining King say? Nice thing is with the Octo server, there is a warranty build. Build your own, you don't get that. That is very true. If I was to do it again, I would get an Octo server. I would definitely get an Octo server. You know, I mean, then you have all the C-Pane Slim SAS connectors and everything. That was probably another, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Mining King, probably another for 8 GPUs. Again, I have only 4 going onto the motherboard, so it's like a total of 12 cards that I had to buy. That was probably, now that I think back on it, probably almost $2,000 just for that. Yeah, it's definitely not cheap. Now, again, that's an 8 GPU rig, not a 6 GPU rig, so you got to take that a little bit into account. I needed an extra power supply, and I needed an extra 3 adapters for Slim SAS. It's probably very comparable, and again, you have a purpose-built machine with the Octo server. Now, I wouldn't plan on putting that Octo server, well, depending on what you put in it. But if you're going to put your own GPUs in it, don't plan on being able to put the top on it, because most of the GPUs out there, except for the Founders Edition, are as tall as the Octo server is. So, yeah, I was going to say, I would think it'd be about the same is what I was kind of working out. But again, you have a purpose-built machine. Now, with that said, I think you learn a lot by building it yourself. But again, I guess in both cases, obviously the Octo server, I've been very upfront. I got that. I won it last year's Mining Disrupt. And then I was able to get, working through Vistang, was able to get a really good deal on the frame. So yeah, I got a few deals along the way, but I would say if I had to do another one, which I hopefully will do eventually, like to do a 5090 rig at some point, I definitely would like to do another Octo server. That would be ideal. All right, let me see if I missed any tags. Octo server wants $900 for shipping. My plane ticket for that. It's being shipped from China via air. And if you have any idea how much that costs for something that heavy, it's just the cost, man. It's just the cost. Yeah, it's crazy. I have been in logistics, and actually even when I was in the bike industry, we used to air freight frames, not full bikes, but only frames. And that was super expensive just because of the space, not because of the weight. But we wanted them over here for launch, so we did what we had to do. Let's see if anybody else has tagged me. Nope, not yet. Okay, I'm sold. Octo server it is. Yeah, I think that's the way to go. Yeah, exactly what Mining King said. Air shipping equals expensive. Ridiculously expensive, especially for something that is that big and that heavy. Oh, they do have an option for boat for $350. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. But again, that's going to be probably like 5 weeks. What was the motherboard model again? It is an H12 SSL, I believe, -I. Mining King, I'm sure you probably can correct me if I'm wrong. You know that board. He gets that bat mill. Yeah. And here's the other thing. I don't know if they've had to build in the tariffs into their pricing yet. That would be interesting. You're air freighting to Dubai. Oh my God. Yeah, you are definitely familiar with weight and size. That puts the shipping of one Octo server to shame. Oh my God. Yes, you definitely know how expensive air freight is. No question. All right, moving on. Talked about that. Yeah, I pretty much actually worked everything in that I was planning on talking about today. Because of your guys' questions, which is great. Great minds. Oh, giveaway. Yes.
Well, that's the only reason they all tuned in.
No, there's only 55 people here. That's my normal number is like 55 to 60. So they didn't all just tune in for that. But as I said before, the members were from when I announced it, which was a couple weeks ago. Last time I checked a few days ago, the same 25 people were members. And you're just going to have to trust me because I don't really want to like dox everybody by putting their name up on the screen. But I do have a spreadsheet that, where'd it go? Oh, that's right. I put it up here. No. Where did you go? There it is. There it is. And let me see if I have the... Oh, hang on. I had to kill Chrome right before I started, and I had a random number generator up, but it appears it did not come back after I finished. So let me do a search real quick, get that random. It's a wheel. Random number generator. Picker wheel. Not even saved my settings. Isn't that nice?
Hey, Del Greco, member for 10 months.
Yes, he has been a member. Yes, you're on the list, Vinny. Thank you for being a member for 10 months. Very much appreciate it. All right, let me... Why is that? Oh, it's a stupid ad. All right, that's fine. I can deal with that. All right, let me change scenes. Oh, so whoever wins this will win a KS0 Ultra. That's what you'll be winning today. Or...
Why did you just join?
No, dude, I said, did you not... Okay, you need to listen. You need to listen. Listen.
No, I didn't.
You had to have been a member. This was to discourage people from just signing up to be a member just to win things. I'm just trying to reward members that have been members for a while. So I'm sorry, Mining King. You don't qualify. Damn you. Anyway, yes, you're a member now, but you don't count. Sorry. Anyway, so we have 25 members. So I have it 2 to 26 because that's corresponding. I can give you your, that's fine. I'll give you your $5 back. Just give me your Venmo. You okay? You sure? Did you break a toe? Oh, cramp. Okay. All right. I was just hoping she didn't break a toe. Sunflower Mama's got a cramp. Hamstring? Yeah. Yeah, it is that stupid chair. Hey, I did sign up to win another chair. Hopefully I'll get that one. Okay. Are we ready? A 1, a 2, a 3. Of course, none of you guys know what your number is except for Steven Cicero, who's number 26. It is 12. Who is 12? 12 is Douglas Hayen. You are the lucky winner. Is Douglas here tonight? He's here a lot of times. And Shides. No, Shides, you were number 16. Sorry, close but no cigar. But Douglas Hayen did win. So I will reach out to him on Discord. Or Douglas, if you're watching after the fact, please reach out to me on Discord. I think he normally watches the next day. So he'll probably reach out. Now, if for some reason he does not, we will... No. This is not a spin again. This is for members. You do not need to be present in order to win this. So, yeah. So thank you all for playing. Thank you for all the members. I really do appreciate it. It does truly help to keep this channel going. So yeah, right now I'm at, I can't even see. Actually, I'll look behind me. 7,860. And at 10,000, I'll be giving away a few more things. I will be giving away meter box. And I'll also be giving away a 3060 Ti. It's the Asus KO 3060 Ti. So that is what's happening at 10,000. And again, it will be for members. So that will take a little while. So yeah, if people do want to become members to be eligible, that's fine. But about a week beforehand, I will do like a cutoff. But again, we'll be able to tell. I've been getting somewhere in the range of around 50 a day, something like that. So yeah, content's been doing pretty well. I've been using vidIQ, which has been helping. At least it certainly seems like it. So I only did one video last week. I'm kind of disappointed with myself in a way, but all that boxing and pictures and dusting of the GPUs and everything, that shit takes time. And then you got to think about, okay, I got to overanalyze everything. So I'm like, what prices should I put on these things? And I'm still overanalyzing and I'm looking at it. Did I put the prices too high? Evidently I put the prices too high because I haven't moved a single GPU last time I checked. I haven't been up for I've been up for about 24 hours and none of them is sold. So I am making some modifications to that. I do have 3 more GPUs. No, 3 more GPUs and a MikroTik. By the way, Mining King, if you want the MikroTik HAP AX3, I'll send it to you if you want it. Otherwise, I'm going to sell it. I just, with having my Unifi network, I started thinking like, oh yeah, I could put that up. I can make it an access point or something. And I'm like, I'm not going to do that. I like my single window. I like being within the Unifi ecosystem. God, now I sound like an Apple guy. Ugh, I vomited a little bit in my mouth when I said that. So yeah, I figured, yeah, no more MikroTik. I'm there with you. Like I said, it's great. You have all kinds of control. I was able to do everything that I can do on my Unifi on that small little MikroTik that's only like $140. I'm not selling it for $140. I'm selling it for $75, but everything's done through command line and not all of it through command line, but a lot of it through command line. And there's just so many different, it's not intuitive. And like I said, just because you can do everything, it's not single pane of glass. It's there. Back in the day, I was a product manager for a Motorola network management product. So it was more of an element management product because it wasn't integrated so much with other people's equipment. But it really only managed, it managed multiple components. So technically it was a network manager. But anyway, it's where I learned element management versus network management. MikroTik is very much element management. You're managing one device at a time. So you when you put something in one, it doesn't automatically translate to the other. You got to put something in the other device to make sure that those two things mesh together. So yeah, it works and it works well. It's just not intuitive. So I guess that's the best way to put it. All right, let's see. Okay, so I am Steven's sister. I am going to keep putting out videos. I'm starting to enjoy the process again. At first, it was just kind of like I had to make myself do it. Like I said, this week was just a little nutty. A lot of things going on at work. Some some things I had to do in the morning. Next week's going to be a little nutty as well. I might actually do a Mondays with Max next week. So heads up, I will let everybody know if I'm going to do a Mondays with Max next week, because I may be going to a conference Monday and Tuesday, local, at our headquarters. So I will let everybody know. I just thought about that. Yeah, I might do it on Monday next week. So we'll see. We'll see. Not Tuesdays. So I'm not sure what timing of that was. Gaming with Smokey Dan. I don't know if you were responding to my, I think I just vomited a little bit in my mouth.
Because you were talking about when you were talking about the Apple.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's okay. That was what it was a reference to. Good. You know what's really interesting, Steven Sister? I hate to tell you this now. They are now able to integrate with much cheaper cameras. They now allow integration of third-party cameras. So when I found that out, I mean, you're talking less than $100 cameras can integrate, and they're good cameras. So we'll see. I'm not ready to make the jump just yet, but I will plan on doing that probably towards the summer would be my guess. When it's warm outside, I can mount them outside. I just got to figure out how I want to do it, because I would like to cover all 4 sides of the house, but that will be a little interesting with the way things are configured. So I don't know. I got to figure that out. But it's probably going to be either 4 or 5 cameras. I'll have to get another switch because I'll probably use the PoE directly from the Dream Machine, but I'll need to get an aggregation switch and link to the aggregation switch, and then from the aggregation switch to a switch for upstairs, and then the link to the switch downstairs. So I'll have to get a few things. So it won't just be the cameras, just because I'm using everything, almost everything out of that. Although maybe not. Maybe not. Because I have only 3 computers in here. I got the link from the basement. I think there may be just a lot of unused ports that I forget about. Because I used to have... Oh, no, wait a minute. I've also got the Nook here. I don't know. I'll have to figure that out. I might just be able to use a dummy. Yeah, I might be able to use a dumb switch for that and the Nook, which is just a node. I don't know. I'll have to figure that out. But yeah, just wanted to let you know that's David Cicero. You can use cheaper cameras now. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, Crypto Crag. Steven Cicero, what features don't work? I wasn't aware of that. There's a specific protocol that the camera has to comply with. And I thought as long as it complied with that, then it would do everything. Yeah, I might hit you up on that to find out. Yeah, it's definitely been coming, going back to Crypto Craig's statement. Yeah, it's been coming off a lot slower, but I've also been kind of taking a break. And what I mean by that is not necessarily eating more. It's just not being as disciplined about the times I eat. And I have had a couple of, like at work, I'll have like a Rockstar or something like that. It's only got like 7 grams of carbs. So I'll have like 2 of those. Those will be like almost my entire carbs for the day. So I'll usually have somewhere on the range of around 25 carbs a day. And I like super enjoy it. But it seems to have slowed down my weight loss a bit. So I may be cutting back on that. And then the other part of it is when I get home at night, I'm really hungry, so I'll have just a snack before I go to bed, which is obviously a number one thing not to do. So I got to get away from that again. That snack is completely keto. I usually have, well, yeah, mostly keto. I usually have cheese and some nuts. And nuts do have carbs in them. So, but yeah. And the interesting thing about it is I can tell, well, I won't go into that. I can tell when I'm keto or not. I don't need to pee on a strip or anything like that. I know what the sign is. Oh, nope. I will find it. It was in one of the Facebook groups I'm on. Yeah, let me know. I appreciate it. Jackson Digital. Appreciate you being here. Let's see. Try some slow releasing carbs like You're funny. You're funny. The one thing I haven't tried yet is because I love pizza. I have not tried cauliflower crust and looked at that. So I may want to try that in the next couple weeks and see how it is. Yeah, it is definitely. What was that?
The one at Mata's good.
Is it? Okay. I have to try that. The only thing I got to figure out is how many carbs are in the tomato sauce. Because otherwise it's the cauliflower crust and the sauce. The cheese doesn't have any carbs in it. And as long as you make the rest of it meat or low carb vegetables, we're good.
Whaling channel just subscribed.
Did it pop up on the screen?
It did.
Oh, I missed it. What was the name?
Whaling channel. It says recent subscribes in the bottom of your screen.
Oh, yes, I forgot about that's Whaling Channel. Recent subscriber. Well, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it, sir. Appreciate it. All right. Yeah, again, thanks. Appreciate it, Crypto Craig. It is definitely hard to do. I mean, I'm 43, 44 pounds in, having lost. I'm over halfway there, which is good. I want to lose another 20, about another 30 pounds is what I'd like to lose. That should get me down to a good, healthy weight. And I think that'll be maintainable. Let's see. My kids have celiac. Going for wheat alternatives is a zero taste game. Well, I don't have celiacs, but obviously I'm not having wheat because of the carbs. So yeah, I mean, I'm eating just meat. And so finding flavorful meat is the key. Absolute key.
Oh my God, this.
Double T's?
And double H's now.
And double H's. Okay, well, like I said, we can switch over to the Razer one for you. That one's not doing double letters. If I go that route, it will taste badly. Why? Just spices on the meat. Maybe the kids don't like that type of flavor because kids have a different taste. Yeah, I sympathize with you. That's rough. Gaming with Smoky Dan. What about a pasta bake with tomato, onion, garlic sauce
It's like literally
with grated cheese and add any meat to it? Okay, anything with pasta is going to be high carbs. So when you're on keto, you need to be 50 grams of carbs or less. Most people, when they're on keto, they want to be less than 20 or 30 grams of carbs. That's when you're really going to lose weight because you need your ketones to kick up. And once you've been on the keto diet for a while, your body adjusts and the ketones actually drop. So you have to really stay on top of it. So I think that's basically what my body's doing right now, is that I'm good with keeping my insulin low. It's not being released because I don't have many carbs, but my ketones I think are low, which is why I'm not burning as much fat. So that's why I got to get a little bit more strict on it and make sure I'm keeping my carbs lower than what they currently are. So let's see. Are you tracking body fat level? Yeah. The good thing is that's one of the benefits of the keto diet is that you don't have a tendency to lose as much muscle. And actually doing a whole bunch of research, that's one of the things everybody's talking about Ozempic being this like miracle diet drug. Yeah, the only problem with Ozempic is that you lose a much higher percentage of muscle than on a straight calorie diet, which is not good. So my muscle, you're always going to lose muscle when you lose weight. It's just the way it is. But I'm losing a lower percentage than in the past when I was on a straight calorie reduced diet. So I got that much going for me. So right now, my fat-free weight is like 168, I believe. I dropped just below 26% body fat. So yeah, I'm really looking forward because there's two numbers that I really need to get within. One is BMI. And BMI is like right at that 200 pound mark. The other one though is 25% body fat, and I'm less than 1% away from that. So yeah, that 17 to 25% is considered the normal range, and I will be out of the overweight range. I was really happy when I got out of the obese range because I was in the obese range. So yeah, we're getting there. We are getting there. Let's see. Game of Smoking Dan has a BMI reader, sends a signal through your body, and then gives a result based on the time it takes to return, as can add in height and weight. Yeah, I mean, basically I've got a scale that does it. I hop on it every day, and it keeps history of where I'm at. My metabolic age right now is, I'll say it's 3 years. Well, yeah, it's about 3 years older than what I'm at. That's another thing I want to get to. I want to get to where my metabolic age is actually less than what I actually am. That would be good. But that probably won't happen until I start exercising more. So trying to walk around the warehouse a bit more. But yeah, the hips still a problem, but it's doing better with having less weight. 26%. Those are rookie numbers. You got to pump those numbers up. I'm sitting at 40%. You are not at 40%. There is no way. There's no way, GOAT. By the way, I did notice, and you actually motivated me to change it as well. So I was doing some watching of some people and saying like how far away you should be from the camera. And how much, how your face should be. And this was probably a couple months ago. So I started backing up a little bit when I record my videos. I also noticed if anybody's seen it, I actually had the camera over here for the beginning and the outro on one of my videos. I should have asked, if people like that or not. I thought it was an interesting change. So I'll probably use that on some other videos in the future. But this one, I didn't have this. I had it too far back on the desk. So actually right before the stream tonight, decided that I would move it up on the desk so that I could be further back. And I think this is a more, it's a personal space thing, is what they were saying. So it's just like when you are talking to somebody, and I can use my hands, which I do generally use my hands when I talk. But it's a personal space thing. So if I'm up where I normally am, which is right here, it's kind of a little close, and it doesn't give me the ability to zoom in or, to do some of the other crops and things like that you can do. So being back here just is more options, plus the stuff in the background is in better focus as well. So I'm gonna start doing this a bit more. I'll be doing this all the time with my videos now, and I think that will be a little bit better. So I'm improving, learning, trying to see what to do. I do really like this teleprompter because what I'm doing is I'm talking right at myself, and I know it's me, but it makes me feel like I'm talking to somebody. And I can see like what facial expressions I'm using as well. And obviously you guys, hopefully it's more of a connection to you guys when I'm talking this way. So sometimes when I'm doing my videos, I will do it via a script that'll be on the screen. Sometimes I'll do it via outline. It just depends on the video and the subject matter. Some of the subject matter is I'm like, I got to hit all these points and I need to get this done. The last one I did, which was the Verizon story, I actually typed all that out in about 20 minutes and then put it in the script and went with it. And I thought it went pretty well. A little bit less of a script reading. The more you do it, the better you get at it. Like if you look at Lark Davis, you really pay attention. He's reading a script, but he's done it for so long that most people don't even notice that he's reading a script. I need to get to that point. I'm not there yet. I'm definitely not there yet. All right, let's see the comments. Let's see. Cross-contamination. Got it. Yes, I am tracking body fat levels. Like I said, 25.9 is what I'm currently at. All right, let's see what else I might have missed. Oh yeah, you told me that one already. S. Chang, I was wondering if you were calculating the actual fat weight thing. Reconnection successful? Here, refresh. Yeah, I'm back. All right, type in the chat, refresh, if I still look like I'm... All right, sorry. I don't know what happened there. Yeah, I mean, I am keeping track of that. I'm losing more fat than I am muscle. I don't care what you do. I've talked with a lot of experts on this. You will lose muscle when you are losing weight. It's a fact. You will not be able to not lose any muscle. It doesn't work that way. There's a bodybuilder guy that I had worked with on weight loss. He made that very clear, and he's like, look, we had him, went along with him on his journey where he basically got to the point where he was, I don't want to say portly. He's probably about the weight that I am now. I mean, as far as like body weight percentage or body fat percentage, he got to this point, and then he stayed there to put on muscle, because you can put on muscle when the more fat you have. And so he gained, again, he was a really muscle bound guy as it was. He gained 5 pounds of muscle and then started losing weight. And by the time he was done, he had 3 pounds more of muscle than when he had started gaining weight in the first place. So his net was 3 pounds more muscle, but he didn't put it on or maintain it while he was losing weight. So he had to put on excess muscle, and then as he lost weight. So now he wasn't doing keto, so that could be part of it as well. But it is impossible. Your body is going to lose muscle along with fat. But obviously you want to try and make sure you're losing more fat than muscle. All right, let's see. Oh, you fancy, LOL. That was S. Chang. I was wondering if you were... Oh, yeah. That's what I just read. Let me scroll down. Game of Smoky Dan. Next stream, will you wear that hat on your right side? No.
Yes, when you get to 10K.
I am not wearing that at 10K. I'll wear that at 100K. I will not wear that at 10K. You will not wear that at 10K. No way. 100K, yes. Or you know what? When I do, I haven't figured out exactly when I'm doing it. I know I have to do it after I reach 10,000 subscribers, but I am going to be doing another fundraising stream for ovarian cancer. And I will have some type of goal. It'll be a stretch goal, but some type of goal where one of the things is that you guys can make me wear that. I know what it is, but hey, if they want to see me wear it, gonna have to earn it. Shine said, sorry if you covered this already, but can you please put on, oh, Jesus Christ. That was probably about the time that I got disconnected from Discord or from YouTube. It was about the time you guys started asking that. I believe Panda. Let's see. Game of Smoky Dan also depends on body type as well. Funny enough, I somehow fit in all three body types. So honestly, if you look at like the way I've been, and when I eat normally and I get back down to my existing, I'll stay thin. I just have to stop. I ate like crap, absolute crap, so much junk. I used to come home, have a couple cookies, some ice cream. I mean, it was ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. I have to make sure I'm not doing that ever again. Wear the hat, wear the hat. Nope. Oh, you you typed the hat beforehand. Alrighty, guys. Well, it has been an hour and almost 20 minutes. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed a little bit extra light this evening. I know I did. And yeah, Crypto Crack, sugar is the devil for sure. So bad. And you know, it's interesting. So there's Dr. Boz. I know I've mentioned her before. She's got a YouTube channel. That's kind of what started this whole thing. And she has talked about her addiction to sugar. And I definitely have addiction to sugar. Because, I mean, I know, I still, this evening after I ate, I was like, oh, man, I want a cookie. I don't want a cookie. There's no cookies in the house. That's a good thing. And if there are, I don't know where they are, and I don't want to know where they are. So that is like right now what I've been doing for my dessert. If I still feel hungry after dinner, is having a couple slices of cheese. I do enjoy that, but it's certainly not the same as having a whole bunch of carbs. But yeah, it's, I still crave it. Oh, Friday at work was Employee Appreciation Day. We had, Portillo's. The guys wanted a cake. All right, fine. I'll get you the chocolate cake. If you guys know the Portillo's chocolate cake, it's really, really good. Yeah, that was a little rough. I definitely wanted some chocolate cake on that day. But I'm good. I just have to keep my eye on the prize. Alrighty, guys. Well, thank you guys all for being here. I do appreciate it. Like I said, I will let you guys know this week if I decide to go with with Monday or Sunday next week. Game of Smoky Dan cheese and cookies. Pro Rival, dark chocolate is the way to go. Much healthier fat than cheese. Nothing wrong with a bit of unrefined sugar. It's still got carbs in it. I'm not, and believe me, I do like dark chocolate. It's just not right now. But although I do need to look, I've been meaning to look to see the different dark chocolates that are out there to see how many carbs there are. Cause like I'll eat, like cashews, and cashews, like for 25 nuts, something like that, it's like 9 grams of carbs. So it's not 0 carbs or anything. Still are carbs. So anyway, I didn't intend this to be like a diet talk or anything, but hey, you guys kept asking me questions, so I appreciate it. Alrighty, guys, I am done for the night. Again, appreciate you guys all being here. The General is out. Have a good one, everybody. See you next week. And I remember to do the outro this week. his hand. Give me a swing dance, gotta get my intro in. Yeah, I saw that. Oh, yes, it is.